That's a top 10 hit from 1961, Dear Lady Twist, by our guest today, the legendary Gary U.S. Bonds. And Gary's going to be in our area on Saturday, July 27th at the Peekskill Jazz and Blues Festival in Peekskill, New York.
Oh, yeah.
And also Thursday, August 1st at the Union County Performing Arts Center in Rahway, New Jersey.
Busy, busy, busy.
Busy, busy. Listen, you know, I have seen I've seen lots of photos of you and videos of you on YouTube. You just recently turned 74, but you look like you're 34. So what's your secret? Because whatever it is, I want to do it.
People that think I look 30 need glasses, but that's okay.
So what you're saying is it's the people in the back of the auditorium are the ones that think you look 34.
Yeah, the ones up close, they go, oh, gee, look at that guy. Oh, my God, is he still here?
Well, you know, you've had such a long career. This book, by U.S. Bonds, My Story, I should tell the audience, it's your brand new autobiography. Was this a case of people saying to you, well, you know, you've had a heck of a ride. You might as well put some of this stuff down on paper?
I've been trying to do this for years, and I just didn't know how. I must have bought at least 10 to 12, you know, the little recorders.
Right.
They're all still in the box. If you need to buy any, just let me know. and I never got a chance. I'd put a couple of lines down, and then I'd forget about it, forget where I put it, and I go buy another one. I put another line down. If I put all those recorders together, I might have about 10 lines. But I finally got Stephen Cooper to help me write it. He offered to do it, and of course I accepted because I needed somebody. And he turned out to be a really, really good writer. This is his first book also.
Wow.
So, I mean, he turned out to be a really, really cool guy, you know. Traveled with me all over. It still is. For the last year, I mean, we've been together to Europe. We went to China together. We've been a lot of the U.S. gigs. Jamaica, you know, he went everywhere with me, and he just kind of took notes of everything, which is kind of scary at little times. But we got along fine. He tried to be a really, really cool friend.
Was it a case of where he might bring up something to you that you might have completely forgotten about? And
well, he did. Yeah. Like I said, we got together, and then he says, I want to go with you back to your hometown, to Norfolk, Virginia. So he traveled with me down there, and I got a chance to, after, 20, 30 years, to meet up with my old buddies that I grew up with down there, and my whole high school mates and everybody.
Right.
And that was a blast. That was a blast. And he got to ask them questions that I didn't think about asking because I guess I was, too close to the situation.
Right.
And I was sitting there in amazement with it, like him, going, wow, we did that? No kidding. So that was really, really cool. And plus to get a chance to get down there and drink again with my old friends,
Right, sure.
Yeah, we don't drink like we used to, but boy, we sure talk about it like we used to.
I'd like to ask you about the song Quarter to Three, because you'd had other songs. I mean, New Orleans was top 5, but Quarter to Three went right to number 1, right?
Quarter to Three was the first number 1, yeah.
Can you tell us a little bit about that song?
Quarter to Three was a byproduct of a song called A Night with Daddy G, which was an instrumental recorded by Daddy G in the Church Street 5, Gene Barge, which is my saxophone player.
Right.
Who, by the way, is 86 years old today, and he's running around like he's 26. Man, it's crazy.
God bless him.
He is absolutely crazy. Wonderful, wonderful. But anyway, he recorded this song, A Night with Daddy G, and it didn't take off that well as we thought it would. So when we got back into town, they asked me to put some lyrics to it, and I went in the other room and sat down and quickly just sketched out a couple of lines for it, and we recorded it. And what do you know? In just a few months or so, the doggone thing was a hit.
Well, yeah, you can never. I guess you can never really tell what's going to really catch on.
No, you can't. You really can't. And that was a real kick in the butt. We didn't realize what was going to happen there, but thank God it happened good.
We're talking to Gary U.S. Bonds today on the Vintage Rock and Pop Shop. And Gary, the following year, right after that record came out, you went on tour in Europe, and I believe the Beatles were your backing band.
Yeah, that's what they told me. You know, I haven't been able to confirm it, but my ex-manager told me when I got back that a few months after we were back, because I went over there with Gene McDaniels and Johnny Burnett as a little package. And he says, you know those guys that backed you up over there, they got a new record coming out. I go, no kidding. He says, yeah, well, what's the name? He says, they call themselves the Beatles. And then years later, we went, oh, man, those Beatles? I wonder if it was those Beatles, you know. And I guess it was, but I know Paul will never admit to it now.
Well, they used to open for everybody. Tommy Rowe.
Oh yeah. But that's what everybody did. We couldn't bring a band over there. In fact, to this day, they've changed it back now. It's really hard to get an American band over there with an act, unless it's a known act that has been. The band is on the album with them, you know.
Right.
Like Tommy James and the Shondells, you know.
Right.
Springsteen and the E Street Band, you know. Unless you have that tag along, it doesn't mean anything.
Oh, yeah. Speaking of which, you had a hit in the 1980s, which was pretty remarkable, you know, to have hits in the 60s and in the 80s.
Yeah, right. You know, thanks to my dear friend Bruce Springsteen helping with that, you know. And in fact, he wrote it right here in my house on this little stupid piano I'm sitting there next to. My wife's been trying to sell the piano. I went, no. Bruce wrote the song on that, baby. Can't sell that.
That's right.
Here she comes.
This Little Girl Is Mine, a big hit for our guest today, Gary U.S. Bonds, back in 1981. Gary, with all the shows that you've done over the years, I would imagine that there had to have been some times where maybe the audience was getting a little crazy or a little out of hand?
Yeah, there's been quite a few of those times, and especially a lot of those times when I was with Chuck Berry. A lot of those happened like that, you know. Very, very weird situation, you know, because people, you get a bunch of them together, you know. We are very, very weird when we're having fun, you know.
Right.
Sometimes we don't know how to act. But it's so far, nothing bad has happened. Thank God, you know, everything has been A-OK. I'm happy for that.
Well, you must be in a fortunate position that you probably have parents who are bringing their kids, maybe even grandparents that are bringing their kids. Maybe you might have 3 generations in the audience nowadays.
Oh, we do. A lot of times we have, especially when we do the oldies circuit.
Mm-hmm.
Those everybody's there because the parents want to bring the kids out to show them what they were enjoying, and then same with the grandparents. You know, they want to show them what the music that they were enjoying as opposed to the music the kids are enjoying now.
Right.
We get a lot of conversions out there too.
Now you have a full schedule, but you've also got this. It looks like a cruise coming up in November. Can you tell us about that?
Yeah, that Malt Shop Cruise. That's going to be. I mean, everybody's on that doggone on that cruise. I can't believe they got all those acts. You know, from Neil Sedaka to the Shirelles to the Crystals to Bobby Rydell to the Four Tops. I can't believe all the acts on there. That's a big cruise. I think we go into the Caribbean, St. Martin's, and all that. You know.
Yeah. You're gonna have.
So that's going to be fun. I get to get my tan. You know.
Hopefully they'll have room for the audience there with all those acts on board.
I know. Yeah, when you start counting up the acts, you go, well, how many cabins do we have on that cruise?
And once again, I just want to mention to everybody, July 27th, Peekskill Jazz and Blues Festival, Peekskill, New York. Thursday, August 1st, Union County Performing Arts Center in Rahway, New Jersey. We've been talking to Gary U.S. Bonds, who in November is going on a cruise with pretty much the entire history of rock and roll on board. Just
about it, too. And we're also going to be, I'm going to be selling and autographing the book on there, too.
Oh, yeah. Oh, by the way, I should mention, I almost forgot here. People should go to GaryUSBonds.com, your website.
Yeah, and sure pick up the book. It's called By U.S. Bonds, That's My Story. It also comes with a CD called That's My Story, and I'm Sticking to It, which hopefully will be my next big hit.
Thanks so much, Gary, for appearing on the show with us.
Oh, it's been my pleasure, buddy. Thank you so much.
All righty. Bye-bye.